Good morning, students. In our previous class, we were talking about the different types of surveying, and photogrammetric surveying is one of them. We are talking about what are the steps involved in it, and today we shall be discussing about the types of photogrammetric surveying. Now, this word consists of two parts. One is photo, and second one is meter. Obviously, the photo you can understand, and meter is the measurement. So, it is the measurement from the photograph. So, this is generally classified into three types: aerial, terrestrial, and satellite. Aerial digital photogrammetry is taken from the aircraft or the plane. It will be flying over an area and will be capturing some photographs with the help of good quality cameras. Sometimes the video images are also taken for those areas, and after getting those photo data, we will be talking, we will be taking them to the lab, and then the data will be interpreted with the help of that data, and after that we will be preparing one map. Next up is the terrestrial photogrammetry, and it is a close range photogrammetry, in other words. So that means in the first case of aerial, it is the photographs taken from the plane, which is at a good height. Obviously we will be talking about those heights in later on. Now, in case of the close range photograph, this can be used for 3D models. Again, different types of cameras will be used, and with the help of them, we can easily get the data of the area. And again, it will be interpreted in the lab, to which a map will be prepared. Obviously, this aerial photogrammetry is having some advantages over the traditional surveying methods. Obviously, these are permanent records. They minimize the field work. Obviously, the larger area can be captured with economy. Then these are directly taken from the air. So if an area is inaccessible, then we can easily get the data of those areas with the help of this aerial photogrammetry. Also, the intervisibility is good in case of the area, which compared to the field surveying or conventional methods of surveying. But there are some disadvantages. Obviously, weather conditions will definitely affect the ground, which are having the tall structures, will not be easy to capture the data, and also the aerial photogrammetry cannot produce the same level of accuracy. So the accuracy is a big concern in case of the aerial photogrammetry. Now, if the sensing system is space-bound, then it is called as the space photogrammetry. There is a third type, or satellite photogrammetry or extraterrestrial photogrammetry. Obviously, it is closely related to the remote sensing, but after getting the data from here, we can easily go to the remote sensing step. But right now, we will be talking about the space photogrammetry or satellite photogrammetry. So obviously the amount of information is very large because they are taken from high resolution cameras having from a long height. So as a result, they require large screens of the satellite to get the data of that area. After this, we'll be talking about the different types of photographs taken from the air. Obviously, according to the direction of the camera axis, it is basically of two types. One is vertical photograph, second one is oblique photograph. In case of the vertical photograph, you can see that in the picture, they are taken vertically. Okay, they are taken vertically above the ground, and Actually, a truly vertical photograph resembles a map. This can be utilized for compilation of the topographic and engineering surveys. Now, they are exactly at the vertical. Now, in case of the oblique photograph, the camera angle will be slightly varying. So the photographs are taken with there with the axis of camera intentionally tilted. The angle generally varies. It is from 3 degree, but in most of the cases it is taken as 3 degree. So the oblique photograph can give us an advantage of capturing larger area which compared to the vertical photograph. So depending upon the angle of obliquity, obviously it is of two types, low oblique photograph and high oblique photograph. Okay, if the angle is very high, then it is known as high oblique, and if the angle is low, then if the angle is very less, then it will be called as low oblique photograph. Now, scale of vertical photograph. So, after getting the vertical photograph, we will need to take the images, and from there we need to calculate the height. Now, in this particular picture, you can see that this is the negative image that or film. In this photograph, also it is written as film. That means the camera is there. From here, one photograph is getting captured, and that is the focal length of the camera. Now, from this particular position to mean sea level, the height is capital H, and the height of the ground with respect to the MSL is small h. So, from here to this ground point, the height is h minus h. Now, in some of the cases, the scale can be easily found. That is, scale equals to this focal length divided by this total height. Okay. Now, the average scale of a photograph is f average equals to f minus h minus small h average. Okay. So, this small h can be taken as the average value. In some cases, when we are going directly to the sea, and if that particular area is having the same elevation of a sea, that is the flat terrain, then the scale will be f divided by capital H. Now, as we know all of them, then we can easily say that the photo scale equals to photo distance. This one is the photo distance from lens to film divided by the map distance, this one, into map scale. Now, in case of the photo scale, we will need to understand that it is similar to the RF that you have seen in case of the traditional methods of surveying. So that is photo distance divided by map distance into map scale. Now, if the terrain is perfectly flat, that I was talking about in this particular photograph, if the flat terrain is there, or in other words, it is at the mean sea level, then the small h will be equals to 0. So it will be f by capital H, the scale will be. Now, this shows that the vertical photograph above a terrain is the ratio of the photo distance to the ground distance, in other words. And the relation between photo scale and map scale is photo scale divided by this one equals to the photo distance divided by map distance. So this is it for today. In our next few classes, we will be talking more about the photogrammetric surveying. And if you people have any doubts, you can always call me. Thank you.